Big competitive rules shakeup with Pokemon TCG, set legality delays, and a major overhaul to how rounds finish. Let's talk about it. The other day I did a video talking about product delays with Ascended Heroes and how the 2-pack blisters that were supposed to release this Friday would be pushed back another month until February 20th. If you haven't watched that video yet, be sure to go check it out. Well, now we're seeing that delay have an impact on one of the largest tournaments of the year, the European International Championship. Now, the way that it's worked previously is that the set would release, and then 2 weeks after the set release, the cards within that set would become legal for tournament play. Well, Pokemon announced tonight from their official social media accounts that there would be changes to that ruling. In their official statement that they put out, they made it clear that they were doing this so that players would have more time to prepare with the new set. They stated that Pokemon TCG products will become legal for official tournament play 2 weeks following the release date of an expansion's respective booster display, booster bundle, or sleeved booster pack, whichever comes first. Now, being that Ascended Heroes is not a mainline set, it does not have a booster box display, and the booster bundles aren't releasing until later, which they address in this statement by stating that sets that do not have sleeve booster packs, such as Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes, will follow the same 2-week cadence based on the release date of the expansion's Elite Trainer Box or Booster Bundle, whichever comes first. Now, if you watched my previous video, we talked a little bit about the release schedule, and we know that the Elite Trainer Boxes are not coming out until February 20th. The problem with that is that the EUIC is taking place February 13th through the 15th. The set doesn't become legal for play until March 6th. So what does this actually mean for players? For some, honestly, it's probably a relief. There's less pressure to scramble for sealed product or buy up likely expensive singles that you need to make changes to your deck, which that alone removes some of the stress from the competitive experience. Alternatively, I think this leads to frustration for a lot of players because not only does this affect the EUIC, but this also affects the regional that's happening in Seattle at the end of February. A lot of players were making changes to their decks based on cards that were going to be released with Ascended Heroes. Now, not to be overshadowed by the changes happening as a result of product delays with Ascended Heroes, moving on to a rule that I think a lot of players are going to be happy about are the changes in the end-of-round procedures. Pokemon announced a few days ago that they would be returning to 3 rounds in overtime. If you're new to the competitive scene, the way that it works now is, let's say that we're playing and it's currently my turn and end-of-round time is called. I would be turn 0, I would finish my turn, and then you would get one more turn after that. And then the winner would be determined based on the amount of prize cards left. If it's equal prize cards, there would be a draw. After what was likely a good bit of negative feedback from the community, Pokemon has decided to revert back to how they previously did end-of-round procedures by re-implementing the 3 rounds in overtime. In the announcement on their website, they talk about how the current format was implemented on September 1st. In addition to this, an overtime clock of 10 minutes was instituted to ensure that both players had plenty of time to complete that final turn, and to provide structure to enact slow play penalties where applicable. Now, starting February 13th at the EUIC, end-of-round procedures for Pokemon events will return to a system where competitors are given 3 turns to complete their match. When time is called, the active competitor will finish their current turn, and then 3 additional turns will be played, starting and ending with the opponent. So using our previous example, if it is my turn and end of round is called, I will be turn 0, then you will be turn 1, and then I will be turn 2, and then the match will finish when you have completed turn 3. They also state that maintaining round consistency at championship events is still important, so the current overtime clock is being increased to 15 minutes, providing ample time for competitors to complete their match. And then they say, for more details on end-of-round procedures, please refer to the official Play Pokemon Tournament Rules Handbook. Now that we've talked about both of the big rule changes this week, let's talk about what you think about it. Me personally, I am actually a fan of both of these rule changes. I think the delay in play legality of Ascended Heroes is actually kind of nice, being a more casual player, because now I don't have to feel rushed or feel like I'm falling behind competitively because I can't necessarily get all the cards right away that I need from Ascended Heroes to fine-tune my decks. And as far as the overtime rules go, I prefer the 3-round overtime. I think a lot of the times in a match, only having 2 turns after end of round is called feels a little rushed. So I think going back to the 3 rounds is going to be a nice change. But I'm really curious as to what you think about it. Were you looking forward to playing a new deck with some of the cards from Ascended Heroes? Do you prefer the 3+ turn system, or do you want to keep it how it is currently? If this helped you understand what's changing, be sure to like the video and consider subscribing for more competitive Pokemon changes as well as other TCG content. I hope you all have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.